I was a long-haul trucker for a few years, and just spending every day out on the road is pretty crazy. You see a lot through the windshield of a truck. One night in Hill Country, Texas, I was climbing a hill on a single-lane blacktop, and just as I crest the hill, there is a white Camaro coming straight at me in my lane, and a long line of cars that they are trying to pass in their lane. I have nowhere to go, and am not allowed to leave my lane of traffic, even if it means killing you. So I hit the brakes, even managing to lean forward and grab the trailer spike, to use all the brakes, knowing two things. I am about to kill someone in this little car, and that I am about to be covered in the thousands of pounds of cow shit that I was hauling in back. Luckily, the effing Camaro was able to get back in the other lane when other vehicles started hitting their brakes to avoid the incident that was about to happen. Another time, near Dallas, probably around Hillsboro, where Interstate 35 merges from east and west, I saw a possible drunk driver in a fancy sports car driving like a maniac on the interstate. I called the police and gave them the mile marker where we were located so that they could try to stop it. I lost sight of the car as it sped off, but a few miles down the road, it flipped over on the other side of the freeway, engulfed in flames. The driver made it out. There was no one standing beside it. The images that stick with me the most are the dead people you see. There was a bad accident one night near Austin, and it was late, rainy, on the interstate, right near Round Rock, and I could see the flashing lights in the opposing lane. I don't usually rubberneck because I just don't want to see other people's disasters, but this time I did. There was a dead family lying in several spots on the road, and the first responders were pretty much just standing around waiting for the coroner to arrive. It's still etched in my memory of the flashing lights in the rain and the little dead baby lying 30 feet away from its dead parents. I wish I had never looked at that one. I was in Kent, Texas. There's an old Chevron station, I think it is. Seems like FedEx drivers like stopping in there in droves. I'm guessing it's a popular drop and hook point for them or something. But I stop one day and I need to take a piss. I don't know why I didn't stop in Van Horn. Anyway, I roll up to the empty lot across the street. Kent is an abandoned town. I walked up to the bush line and noticed a half-used fire pit. The wood is somewhat burned, but not all the way. The weird thing is that there's an unscathed $10 bill sticking out of the wood. For a second, I was like, ooh, free pack of cigs. But then this sudden feeling of nope came over me. So I left it alone and pissed in the bush. As I'm walking back, I look over at it again and get a real weird feeling. I look to the ground, and right in front of me, there's a fat-ass rattlesnake looking right at me. I stop dead in my tracks, back up slowly and walk carefully around it, and it keeps staring at me. When I was far enough away, I ran as fast as I could, back to my truck, feeling like somebody was behind me. I kicked up a lot of dust, getting out of there, and have never stopped in Kent since. Another time in Missouri, I stopped at a pilot station to stretch out and take a breather. As I'm smoking a cigarette, a little girl from some direction I couldn't figure out giggles and says, "Hi, mister." My initial reaction was, the fuck is a little kid doing out here at this time? So I talk back and say hi. She then responds with, "My mommy says, you'll be okay, don't worry." Now, I'm utterly confused. I ask her what she means. No response. Then suddenly I feel like somebody is standing next to me, but it doesn't feel negative or bad. Just feels like somebody is right there next to me. So I looked over, but there's no one there. When I look back, the little girl is gone. Since it didn't have a negative vibe to it, I just finished my cigarette and left. Later on down the road, I realized that I forgot to fuel up at my last stop. Just then the warning light came on. So I scramble to look at my GPS and find the nearest truck stop. I find one and set the course. As I roll up to the truck stop, my truck starts sputtering and I barely make it to the fuel line before the truck starts dying. I ran out of fuel right as I got on the fuel line. It wasn't until I was fueling up that it occurred to me what the hell happened at my last stop. Traveling west on Interstate 40 in New Mexico around midnight, before I reach Santa Rosa, I come upon an accident that has both lanes closed, and I'm about 5 car lengths behind the state trooper cars that have the road closed. I can see 2 stopped trucks, one in the right lane a little further up, and one in the left lane is a bit closer to me. I know we are miles from the nearest exit, so I'm not going to be able to move from here. I can also see in my right side mirror a ways back that they close the road and start sending cars off the exit back there. I'm guessing 2 miles or so back. Most of the 4-wheelers around me and the other truckers make U-turns on the right shoulder to go back and get out of there. But the road is too narrow, and I ain't about to even consider turning this rig around. My guess is that there are fatalities, and they need to wait for the coroner to show up. So I shut the rig down and got out to smoke a butt, stretch my legs, and talk to the other truck drivers. Might as well shoot the shit, right? We aren't going anywhere, it seems, for a while. One of the other drivers said he talked to one of the truckers ahead that was involved. Now, if you're the squeamish type, you don't want to read the rest. Clock out now. You've been warned, okay? It seems that the car stuck into the underride guard at the back of the truck in the left lane, plowed hard into the truck. They guessed he was doing triple-digit speeds when he hit the truck. But on impact, the passenger was ejected from the car, and the truck in the right lane was only a couple seconds behind when this happened. The woman passenger was ejected on impact, got run over by the truck in the right lane. The lower half of her body and upper half are a distance away from each other. Worse than that, like there could be a worse than someone dying, right? On the back of the car that plowed into the truck's underride guard is a sign that says "just married." I hope you enjoyed this story. Please subscribe to my channel. Also, if you have a true story that is scary, creepy, or horrifying, which is well written, and you would like me to share, send the story to spinethrills@gmail.com.